as you want. The main topic is automations, but I want to talk about circle. I think we haven't talked about the circle before. Maybe we do, but in code basis, maybe we didn't. So first, I want to tell about the project structure. Maybe we can do it this on repository here. You know, this is our repository. Now I click the dot button, so it will open web. What is web IDE? Web IDE. Now I want to show the structure. Actually, we have three main folders. Right? This is the folder which contains the React codes for UI part. And we have web application folder. It contains the Java codes. As you know, this is a web application on top of Multimedia Server, and Multimedia Server is on top of Tomcat. So there is some Java codes, and the Java codes are here. So far, we haven't changed anything. But very recently, Yunus made something here. So we started to edit the Java codes also. Previously, it was the same with our other streaming applications, but now there are some differences. We have new WebSocket messages, something like that. So this is the web application part. And the last part is the test. Today we will focus on this more. So now I want to skip this part. Okay. In the React, I want to say something. This Antimedia JS is the core of the implementation or heart of the implementation. The other components are mostly related to this UI parts actually, buttons, panels, chat panel, participant, drawer actually its name, drawer. Uh, they are related to this. Every of them are different React components, but this Antimedia JS is a core class which manages everything under the hood. Okay, we mentioned about these three things. What is the next? Automations. In Antimedia, not Antimedia, in Conference app, we have three automations actually. One of them is on Travis, and the others are GitHub Actions. Let's proceed one by one. Travis. The Travis configuration is here. What does it do? Let's check together. In the install phase, it gets something from it gets the Chrome driver because in tests we are using Selenium, and Selenium needs this Chrome driver. Maybe in future we can handle this in a better way, but for now it takes this version of the Chrome driver and install it. It unzip and it's located somewhere else. Then we install the Selenium. We install some other Python packages that we are using for testing purposes. These are the topics for today actually. All of these are tests related to test automation. These are the encryption related to signing the application and putting it to the Sonatype, I think. Also, we do some other security things for this purpose. We install LTS. I don't know what is it. We clone the parent project. Actually, I think this is not necessary for now, as far as I know. So maybe we can remove this part. And at the end, we call maven install to create a WAR file. This is the before installation part. Also, we cache something non-modules. You know that it's a big directory, so don't need to do it every time. And also Maven repository, we cache that. And in the script part, what we do, we go to the React folder. Okay, we run npm install then npm run build. So what it does, actually, it built the UI part, this React part. Then we go to the parent folder, copy this we built UI part into the web application. Then we call the Maven install again, and it creates the war file. Then we go to the test folder and run the tests with this Python command. Our integration tests, these are integration tests actually. We don't have unit tests in this branch right now. Actually, we have something, but it's not running on the CI. But Yunus is one of the tasks of Yunus, right? Maybe he already done that.
Yes, the
We
unit test
unit test,
integration.
and also it will be integrated to the CI/CD, and it also measures the coverage. But this is for integration test, and we will focus on this part today. We run the test main Python script, and we provide 4 parameters. The server that we want to run this circle application, the username for that server, the password for that server, and the war file name. Actually, we created the war file here, and we know its name here. Then we will see what happened when we call this Python. And at the deploy stage, if it is a main branch, then we deploy it into the Sonatype, and you know that where the latest war file located. You know that it is here. If we merge something to the main branch, then this file is updated. There are snapshots. Okay, actually, it's not great to do this meeting. Let me proceed. This is the automation in the Travis. Also, we have 2 other automations in GitHub Actions. Okay, let me show on Travis side. I think it has failed. One test is failed. As you see, this is a part that our tests are working. I will check that. We will check that in a couple of minutes. And these are the other parts. Anyway, now as I said, we have 2 other we have 2 other automations. Let me show you. They are GitHub actions. One of them is this Java CI with Maven. What does this do? It is running every day at night. Okay, and it gets the latest WAR file from the Sonatype here and install. Okay, first delete the conference application from the meet.antmedia.io and install it again into the meet.antmedia.io. If there is some issue, then this is the patch that we have currently added. If there's a problem in deletion or installation of the application, we also delete the pod in the Kubernetes structure. Then we install it again. This is the one of the automation that is running every day at night. The second one is this is the uh, this is the one where when we take the branch with some tag, this is running. Okay, in it, what we are doing again, we get the latest version from the CI, then we take uh, that version. It means that we create a release on the GitHub. What I mean, let me go here. Yesterday, actually, I take the main branch with version 2.8.0. So as you see that we have a 2.8.0 here. Now, the next step maybe in that automation will be adding the release notes. As you see that release notes are not written automatically, but this is created automatically when we take the branch. And that automation does this. Now, let's proceed. The last part, the integration tags. This is the main topic for today, actually. You know that. Now I want to introduce the test. Maybe before that, I have already shown this one. In the CI, they are running like that. We call the Python method and it starts to run the test. As you see that if it's passed, it's right okay, otherwise it says error. If everything is working fine, then everything will be green here, then it will proceed. And also at the end, oh, I have a problem. At the end, this will be green actually if it passed. I will show you how you can run the test locally. In CI, it is like that. We see the automation, something related to automation. So now I want to show the test folder here. As you remember, we call this test main with a Python. You can see that it takes the 4 arguments. You can remember that we provide these arguments from the Travis YAML script, server URL, username, password, and the WAR file. And here it generates a application name, random application name. Sometimes you can see test app some number in the meet server, and it is coming from here. Then after getting these parameters, we create our test suite. We add, we create a test suite. We add test install apt. Then this is a function or this is a test in the test deployment file. We add that test this suite. Then we create a second suite which gets the all test in this test join leave uh, file, and we add this test suite to the first suite. With this way, we add the test after installation test, and at the end we have a delete test which deletes the application from the server, and we start running this test suite. What we have an installation test, we have some tests in this file, and at the end we delete the application from the server. Let's check with the let's check the what deployment. This is for deployment. As you see that there are two functions, two tests actually in it. In the first test, what we do, we get the IP address of the first node. Actually, there is a comment here. This was a workaround solution. We had an issue in which we couldn't install application through the load balancer. So instead of calling the create app script through load balancer, we got the first node IP, then install it over the first node. I think this is not necessary for now. I will test and maybe delete this trick. Instead of that, we can directly call the install method on the load balancer. It should work. Actually, before that, I want to show you something. In the setup phase, as you see that we have a REST helper class, and it is in this class to call REST methods or to do something. I actually create a separate file, separate class from this test class. If we need to call some REST methods, we are using this REST helper instead of writing the REST methods or something here. We keep them in this REST helper. What we have, we can log into server, we can get broadcast, we can create application, get cluster nodes, install application, delete application. If we will use some other REST methods in future, then we can edit them here. Okay. Here we log into the first node and call the install application by the help of this REST helper. We provide the var file name and we upload it to that node and install it. Then we are sleeping because sometimes it takes time to make everything ready. Because after this test, we start to call the other test directly. So if the application is not ready yet, then other tests may fail. And also this is the delete application. Here there is no such a trick because we can delete the application through the load balancer. I think we can install application through load balancer now, so we can remove this trick. Now the next step. The next step is the test join leave. After installing the application, we call the tests here one by one. And there are some 9 or 10 tests here for now. Actually, they test the basic features of Ants Media, not Ant Media, Circle. Um Before that, I want to show one more thing. As REST helper, we have another utility class. It is I said it, browser. With the browser, we make the Selenium settings and Chrome driver settings here while creating it. Then I have some utility functions. For example, there is an open in new tab. When you provide a URL, then the browser creates a new tab and go to that URL. Selenium doesn't do that. You can switch between the tabs by using their handle with this switch to tab. Get current tab ID to you need to check sometimes states. I think you can execute JavaScript by this method. You can get an element on the screen, on the browser screen with this element. It may be a button, it may be anything. Also, some timeouts, something are handled in here. So if you do that in this other in the test scenario, you need to handle that. Instead of doing this, we have this utility class to get the element. You can check if an element is exists in the current screen, in the current tab or not with this method. Sometimes you need to get some sub elements from an element that you have. You With this method you can check if a sub element is exist under an element. You can search this by class name. Actually, as I need, I added these functions. If you need some more things related to the Selenium or driver, browser driver, you can add such things here. This is a utility function to click mouse to some on element. This is write, for example, a text. For a text field you can write something if your element is a text field. This is clicking for that element. This is related to moving slider. We use the slider, you know that here. Slider means that this one. It is a utility element to change the position of the slider. This get weight. In Java tests, you are familiar with await function. This is a similar thing which WebDriver provides you. So I will show how I use this. Close the driver, close tab, closes tab, and closes all tabs. These are the utility functions to create the test. Now let's focus on the main part. At the end, we have come to the main part. Our tests. This takes two environment variable. One of them is server URL and the test application name. So these are set by GitHub Actions and also in this main. Actually, we set this environment variable in this main, and it takes this variable from the GitHub Actions. Now let's proceed. We create a browser. We initiate it. We have a tear down function. This setup is something that in Java unit tests we have before and after. These are the same things. This calls in every test before every test, and this is called after a test finished. Now our first test. Let me introduce the test. Join room in a new tab. This is not a test actually. This is a function that other tests are using. So let's go to the first test and we will see these functions later. The first test is that it is the simplest test. Test join room. We generate a room name, random room name. Then we call join room in a new tab, and we provide the participant name. In this, what we are doing, we get the application name and create the URL, and we provide that URL to the browser utility function open in the new tab function. So browser creates a new tab, and we get the handle to close it later or use it anyway. Also, we return it. What does this do? This creates a new tab, and in new tab it opens the open the circle with the room name. Then let's see here. Sorry, sorry for that. It is easy to show that actually. Anyway, let me finish this, then I will show you. We get the participant name text field and write the participant name into the text field. Then we get the join button and click the join button, and we are waiting to see the meeting gallery div in the screen. If we see it, then this is okay. We create a new participant in the conference room. Let me let me go this part. I will run it locally and I will show you. To run this locally, now you know that this Python needs two environment variable. In Windows, you can provide them like that. In Linux, you know how you can add them environment variable. You can export this name and provide this. Then run the Python. So as you see that I use localhost 330 3000 port because I am running this UI locally and my test application name is test. Okay, I will use that. You know that this thing, if you want to run uh, the React code locally, you need to go to the directory and you should call npm start. When you call this, the local, you can run the UI locally on local host 3000 port, and you can test your code in the development environment. But on the backend, you can connect your front end to any backend. What I mean, there is an environment file here. I think Mustafa has some changes, but the logic is the same. Here in this environment file, you can provide the backend URL. For example, now UI will work on my local computer, but it will use the meet.antmedia.io as a backend. I already called this npm start, so let me go to localhost 3000. Okay, when I run this, as you see that the circle is running, but when I join or create room, it will create the room on the meet.antmedia.io. So UI is not served by that backend server, but everything related to the backend are on that server. But UI is in our local computer. If I hope I could tell. Now, okay, I don't use this because we will use automation. Now, when I call this directly, as you see, now I am using on Windows. It is not my Linux machine. I get some errors because of what? Because of that. Normally, this automation is working on the Linux systems, on Travis, you know. So, the main code is written for the Linux. Here at the setup, we create a browser and it gets a driver from the temp. As you remember, we installed this Chrome driver in the Travis YAML file and it uses that Chrome driver. But it is for Linux. For the Windows, what I did, I installed the same driver to my local computer in this directory. So as a service, I use it. This is the one thing. And for this demonstration, I want to do one more thing. The this parameter init, the init parameter is it headless or not? In CI, it is a headless browser, but in my computer, I want to see the screen, see the window and everything. So I want to make it false. Generally, I do that when I am working locally. Now it is okay. Here we run this test. Instead of that, let's run the test that we investigated. This one. Join room. This is the simplest test. Now it's starting to test. Whoop. Finished and it was so quick. What happened? Let me understand what it it is failing actually. Let me understand what happened. Why it starting it 3 times? Well, it is not the test that I want to test. What we call this? It is. Oh, I think I know that. The other test also contains this name. So it runs all tests starting with this name. I don't know how I can. Anyway, let's proceed. It also run this one because it starts with this name. Also, it's run this one. So let me add something here to show you. Otherwise, it is a bit hard to understand. Now I call it again, but it is very fast. Somehow it is failing, I think. Let's see what is the problem. Oh, it is related to Chrome driver. I don't know why I get this. Current, okay, but I didn't use that. This is my Chrome driver. It tries to run the Chrome installation in my computer, but previously it wasn't the case. What happened? Let me try to understand. This version of the Chrome driver only supports Chrome version. This.
I think your Chrome version is 120 and Chrome driver is 119, so that's why there is a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we have such a problem. Yes, you are right. But I was able to run these tests on locally previously. But what is the issue for now? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I also
understand.
face this issue in a script as well, Burakabi. I
Hmm.
mean, when the version mismatch happens, then it creates a problem. So Chrome driver for 121 version needs to be
Yeah,
patched.
you are right actually. If I download it, okay, then the problem maybe this time the Selenium version and this Chrome driver version is not compatible. I think this is a challenge in using these things. There should be some current changes in the Chrome installation in my computer maybe. So I couldn't run it right now. Then I cannot show how the tests are working. But if you are familiar with Selenium, I think you will understand what will happen. Then we can check it again. Actually, normally what will happen when we run this, it will create a new tab and go to the room folder, then like that, localhost and some room. Then this page will be loaded. I'm still waiting. Oh, I wrote the correct one. Why it cannot load it? No, okay, we don't have test actually there. So I need to change this test to conference while running it. Maybe this is the problem. No, this is not the problem. The issue is that, let me show you. In environment folder, I think we use this one because there is no test application on that server. There is conference. So I have to rerun npm start. For example, in our test, we will call this and we will see this page. Then we will get this field, write something. Then we get this button, click it. And now as you see that we have meeting gallery here. After we see this, then we say that it is okay, then we close everything. What the first test does is that I couldn't like this. I want to show it here what this Chrome thing. Where is it? And it says that. Anyway, let's proceed with the other test. This is the simplest test, as I said. It only uh, it only adds one participant to one room, and after doing it, it closes everything and it passed. The second test is that, but it is a bit hard. Why it is here, I don't know. Let me. In this test, we have two participants. We create participant A in one tab. We create participant 2 in another tab. Then we are in the second tab now because we created this later. Then we try to see our own local video card in the screen. As you see that now how we are using wait is like that. We get the wait object from the browser here, and sorry, wait until what? Until we see two participants in our tab. What is the participants? Let me show you. This is a utility function. We get participants object from the React. You know the participants object in the Antmedia JS. It shows the pres- displayed video players on the screen. So to do that, we execute a script. The script is this return window.conference. Actually, I I set the window.conference in React code. Okay, when conference object is created, I set it to the window.conference. So when we run window.conference, then we get the AntMedia.js object, and we can see all states in it. I think it is very good also for manual testing. If you need to see the states, for example, I think we can do it here. We are using Google Meet right now. Let me show you. Go to console, window.conference. Okay, as you see that I can get all the states here. This is also good for debugging. For example, where is the participants? Yeah, here. As you see that there are four cards here, and we have four participants. The first one is the local video, and the other side video track something, video track something. So in this test, we are
The
checking.
Yash also left, so we
But,
can
but, but,
continue.
but we will upload this video to the YouTube. So then let's continue in English.
Okay.
Okay. Where were us? Oh, okay. We get the conference object here, then we get the participants in it, and we return this get participants. Where here we are waiting until the number of the participants equals to 2. So after that, this is in the second tab. We switch to the first tab, the first participant. It should also see 2 people, right? So we are waiting for that. After that, we go to the second tab again and leave from the room. For example, this is again a utility function. While you are writing new test, you can use this. When I call this leave room, what does it do? It gets the leave room button from the UI and click it. Okay. If you will write more tests, then you can use these utility functions. Then the second participant left the room. So I switch to the first tab and check if there is only one participant. Yes. When it is true, then we close everything and this test is passing. One another one is related to the sharing the screen. Again, I connect 2 participants in the room. These parts are the same because these are important to that if everything is okay so far. Then in the in the first tab, I switch to the first tab, and in the first tab, I get the share screen button and click it. Then I go to the handle 2 and check I am in unpinned gallery. Actually, there's some weight here, but I think there's some issue for that, and I commented out. Maybe we can also check this. Yeah, this is this first participant pinned, but I think For the pinning participant, it is not set in the UI part, so the logic was false. So I deleted this. This unpinned gallery means that these four things, for example, that was only thing that I can check actually. Maybe we can add more thing in the UI code and we can check something more. Now here we will see that join room, join two participants, and this is the end. This was this time we join with five people. We can increase this number. Actually, just before that, what I did, okay, not in this test. It just checks the M participant. This test is related to turning on and off the cameras. Again, I connect two participants to room and switch to the first participant, then click camera button and switch to second participant, and I try to see what is avatar displayed for that participant name, because when we turn off the camera we are seeing the avatar card. Then I go back to the handled one and open the camera again and go to the second participant and check. Now we are I am playing its video. For example, there is another utility function here. What we are doing, we get the card label and I do that. You can investigate it. We get some elements from the UI and check if it is displayed or not to understand if the camera is on for the first participant. Then I do the similar things for microphone. I turn off the microphone and turn on the microphone again. This is another test for microphone status. I have some more tests. Let's go to up. We see that this is the test video track count. Okay, this is just for you, I think actually. Uh, Here I add only one participant to room. Then I set the test track limit. I set and test track limit. Change video track count. Here, this is the function which manages this. What? This one. Okay. It changes the scroller, spinner, slider. Anyway, it's changed the slider position. Then in this test, what I do, I change it and check if it changes the video track limit. How I can get the video track limit? Again, I get the conference object and check the state. In this test, I set the number of the tracks 4, 6, and 12 and check if it can do that or not. One other test. Okay. Yunus, maybe you can do it later. I have a good test. Where you have to find my best test. Okay, let me find it in this way. Okay. Okay, it is in the same test. Sorry for that. Actually, we checked that, but I didn't see the U. Here, our N is 5, okay? We will add 5 participants to the room. As you see that I join them to the room. Then I assert if I have 5 tabs. Then in the fifth one, I check the local stream is visible. Then I see that there are n participants in the room. I mean 5 for this. Then what I do, I change the number of the video track. Okay, it was 6, as default. So there are 5 cards in the screen. Then when I change this to 4, then it should be decreased to 4, and I check it here. Then I set it again 6, and after I setting the number of the video track to 6, then again I need to see the n participants in the screen. Okay, this is a test to we check the UI changes. Okay, I think it is okay for today. If you have questions, then we can proceed with the questions, guys.